Hello dear student, today we are going to start the chapter number 11 from your chemistry syllabus, that is the adsorptions and colloids. Okay, so before going to start this chapter we should know about what is the adsorptions and what is the colloids. Okay, so this is our name of this chapter. Now you might be observed this type of figure. So if we take the cold water bottle from the fridge and if we kept on the table, so what we observe the vapor and that are condensed on the outer surface of the bottle, or so it causes the formation of water droplets. Okay, so water molecules as well as different gas molecules such as nitrogen, oxygen, okay, so they form the air and invisible multimolecular film on the this object, and this phenomena is known as adsorption. So here water molecule as well as other gas molecules such as nitrogen, oxygen from the air form a invisible multimolecular film. Okay, so that nitrogen, oxygen, this molecule, they form the invisible multimolecular film. They form the multimolecular film on this object. So this phenomena is known as a adsorptions. Okay, so here we'll see the details about what is the adsorptions. So this adsorption, this phenomena is because of the London dispersion force, or this is also called as van der Waals forces. So in adsorption, so forces is the sum of all the interactions between these atoms. Okay, the pulling interactions cause the surface of liquid to tight or the formation of an elastic film. So in figure you can see these are the green color adsorbate and this black color is a adsorbent. Okay, so what is the difference between this adsorbent and adsorbent? Okay, so adsorbent, you can see here the material or the substance present in the bulk on the surface of which adsorption takes place is called as a adsorbent. Okay, so this is black color is a adsorbent. This is a material or substance present in a bulk. This is present in a bulk, or it give the surface for which the adsorptions or the this adsorbent, so they can attach here. So what is the adsorbent? The substance getting adsorbed on the adsorbent is called as a adsorbator. The substance, this is green color, this is adsorbent. So getting adsorbed or attached on the surface of the adsorbent, this is called as a adsorbent. Okay. Next we'll see the few example of adsorptions. Okay, so adsorption of gases like hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas is also act as a adsorptions. Then oxygen is there. Then some of, finely divided metals is there like platinum, palladium, copper, nickel, etc. These are the example of adsorption. So then adsorption of gases like nitrogen, then carbon dioxide, so then activated charcoal, this is also example of adsorptions. Then removal of coloring matter like organic dyes, like methylene blue. So when charcoal is added methylene blue, so what will happen? The solutions is become the colorless. Okay, so if we added the charcoal or activated charcoal in methylene blue solution, what will happen? That become the colorless. Why? Because of the these dye molecules, they are accumulate on the surface of charcoals. Okay, so then next we'll see the concept that is desorptions. So name it itself indicate desorption means it's a living from that surface. So in figure you can see the process, the removal of adsorbent substance from the surface on which it was adsorbed is called as a desorption. Okay, the definition is given: the process removal of this adsorbent. Okay, so this is a adsorbent substance from the surface. This is the surface. Okay, so on which it was removed or it get leave from that place, so that is called as a desorption. So this is the surface, and this is hydrogen adsorption and hydrogen desorption. Hydrogen desorptions. So next we'll see the what is the comparison between adsorption and absorptions. So this is adsorption and absorptions. Adsorbed matter is concentrated only at the surface and does not penetrate through the surface to bulk of adsorbent. Adsorption is a surface phenomenon. Okay. In adsorbate, the matter is concentrated only at the surface. Okay, this matter is only present at the surface and does not penetrate. This is the does not penetrate. It's not going inside through the surface to the bulk of adsorption, and this is the surface phenomena. Adsorption is a surface phenomena, while what we can say about the absorptions. So here matter is uniformly distributed. This is not only at the surface or on the surface, it's going inside as well as the surface of the bulk of substances. Adsorption is a bulk phenomenon. So here we saw the adsorption is a surface phenomena, while this absorption is a bulk phenomena. Then second point is that in case of adsorption, the concentration of the adsorbate is high only at the surface of the adsorbent. The concentration of the adsorbate high where? On the surface only, on surface of adsorbent. So in case of absorptions, the concentration of absorbent is uniform throughout the bulk of the absorbent. Okay, so it's uniformly distributed, we can say. So then what about adsorption? It is depend on temperature and pressure. Adsorption it's depend on the temperature and pressure, while this absorption is do not or it's not depend on the temperature and pressure. So then the next point is that it is accompanied by evolution of heat known as a heat of absorptions, but it is not accompanied by evolution of, so it's not affect the heat here. In case of adsorption, heat because of the change in temperature, it will affect on the adsorption, but it is not affect on the temperature of heat. Okay, so then this adsorption phenomena, it's depend upon the surface area, while this absorption this is independent on the surface area. So few example is given: adsorptions of gas or liquid like acetic acid by activated charcoal, the adsorption of water by cotton, that is the absorption of ink by blotting paper. These are the example of adsorption and absorptions. Okay, so next with the help of this example or with the help of this figure, you will understand. So you have to dip with chalk in ink. So what we will observe? So you have to simply dip the chalk in the ink. So with the help of this, what we will understand? So what will happen? See here. So when chalk is deep in ink, so what will happen? These ink molecules, they are absorbed at the surface of chalk, and the surface become the color. Okay, so while solvent of the ink goes deep into the chalk is because of the absorption. Because of the absorptions, when the both absorptions and adsorptions occur simultaneously, this is known as a sorptions. Okay, when this both phenomena, adsorption and absorptions, occur simultaneously, so this is known as a sorptions. Okay, so with the help of this example, you will understand what is the sorption. Sorption is nothing but the adsorption and absorptions occur simultaneously, so this is called as a sorption. So then next topic is that type of adsorptions. Okay, so there are mainly two type of adsorption phenomena, and this phenomena is depending on the nature of forces involved. Okay, so nature of forces, we will see which are the nature of forces. So first is the physical adsorption, or that is a physiosorptions. Okay, that is a physiosorptions, physical, and this is also called as a physiosorptions. So what we can say about the physical adsorption, when adsorbent, okay, when adsorption such as a gas molecule, these are the different gas molecules, when they are accumulated at the surface of solid on account of weak van der Waals forces, the such adsorption is termed as a physical adsorption. So with the help of this figure you will understand. Okay, so this adsorbent, like gas molecules, they are accumulated on the surface of solid. Okay, and they have van der Waals forces. Okay, they have the weak van der Waals forces, and the absorption is termed as a physical adsorptions. Next we will see chemical adsorption. Now we will see physical adsorption. So when gas molecule is accumulate on the surface of solid, okay, this is the solid, this is a gray color, this is solid matter. When the gas molecule, this green color, this is the gas molecules, they are absorbed on this solid surface. When the gas molecules is accumulate on the surface of solid, or the adsorbate by means of the chemical bond, and they are the formation of the chemical bond. So in chemical bond, either it may be covalent bond, ionic bond, and such a type of adsorptions is called as a chemical adsorption or chemisorptions. Okay, so here bond get formed. Okay, the formation of chemical bond between this what we can say gas molecules and this surface of this is called as a chemical absorptions. So then next we'll see the what is the comparison between chemical absorption and physical absorptions. In case of physiosorptions or the physical absorptions, the force operating van der Waals forces. In physical absorptions, there is taking place because of the van der Waals forces, while this is in chemical absorption is taking place because of the this covalent the forces operating in a chemical nature and the formation of covalent or ionic bonds. So in case of physical absorptions, there is a not a specific in nature. All gas get absorbed on the all solids. For example, all gases absorb on the charcoal. In case of chemical absorptions, it is a very specific and occur only when the chemical bond is formation is taking place and is possible between adsorbent and adsorbate. So it's depend on the chemical nature. For example, absorptions of the oxygen on tungsten and hydrogen on nickel. This is taking place because of the bond between this hydrogen and nickel, or we can say chemical nature, depend on the chemical nature. So next is physical absorption, that is the heat of absorption is low, so lies in the range 20 to 40 kilojoule mole. If we decrease the heat, so it will affect on the physical absorption. If we higher the heat absorption lies in the range, if we increase the temperature, so chemical absorptions will be also increase. Then this physical absorptions occur at low temperature and decrease with an increase of temperature. Occur at low temperature, if we decrease or increase temperature, it will affect on the physical absorptions. So but in case of the chemical absorption, high temperature, the chemical absorption is low at a high temperature due to the bond breaking. If we increase the temperature, what will happen? So bond will be break down, so result into the chemical absorption will be decrease. Okay, so then next is that for example, it is given here, if we low temperature nitrogen gas is physically absorbed on iron. Okay, if we nitrogen is chemically absorbed on the iron at high temperature, so form layer of ions and nitride, and which dissolve at very high temperature. That means if we increase the temperature, so it get separated. This physical absorption is a reversible process. Okay, so and chemical absorption is irreversible. So we cannot reverse these reactions. Then these physical absorptions layer, maybe multimolecular layer of the adsorbed particle under high pressure. By increasing pressure, so we can increase the physical absorptions. Then chemical absorption from the monolayer or absorbed particles. Then next we'll see the factor affecting on the absorption of gases on solid. Which are the factors that affect the absorption between gas or solid? How the gases are absorbed on solids, and which are the different factors that affect the absorptions between this gas and the solid? First is that nature of adsorbent, that means gas. Okay, so how the gas is responsible for the adsorption. Okay, so amount of gas adsorbed by the solid is depend on the nature of the gas. The amount of gas is adsorbed. Okay, so amount of gas is adsorbed, it's depend on the nature of gas, it's depend on the nature of gas. Okay, so gas having high critical temperature, those gas having high critical temperature, so they liquefy easily and can readily absorb. Those gases having high critical temperature, so what will happen, they get liquefied, they convert into the liquid and easily get absorbed. Okay, so which are the gases, such as sulfur dioxide, then chlorine gas is there, then ammonia. These are the easily liquefied. Okay, are liquefiable. So what will happen, result into they get absorbed to the large extent, they get absorbed large extent as compared to the nitrogen, oxygen and hydrogen, so which are difficult to liquefy. Then next is the nature of adsorbent. Okay, so nature of adsorbent, how it's affect this adsorption process. The substance which provide large surface area for the given mass are effective adsorbent. Okay, the substance when which provide the large surface area, for what purpose, for adsorptions, and adsorb the appreciable volume of gases. If large surface is more, so what will happen, so the adsorption will be more. Okay, the different adsorbent like silica gel, charcoal, these are effective adsorbent because of their porous in nature. Okay, they are the porous in nature, that's why they are the they are the provide the high surface or large surface area. Okay, to surface area of adsorbent. So next we will see the surface area of adsorbent. Adsorption is a surface phenomenon. Okay, adsorption is a surface phenomena. Hence the extent of adsorption increase. The adsorption is increased with the increase in surface area of the adsorbent. If we increase the surface area of the adsorbent, so what will happen? The adsorption also increase. Then how temperature is affect on adsorption? The amount of gas is adsorbed is thus inversely proportional to the temperature. If we increase the temperature, so adsorption will be decreased. That is inversely proportional. Amount of gas is absorbed is inversely proportional to the temperature. Then what is the effect of this physical factor, that is the temperature? If we increase the temperature or if we decrease the temperature, how that affect on the absorptions? At any temperature, the extent of gas is absorbed increase with the increasing pressure. If we increase the pressure, adsorbance also, or the adsorbate also increase. Okay, so next term is that adsorptions isotherm. So what is the adsorption isotherm? This is the adsorption isotherm is a relation between the amount of substance adsorbed per unit mass of the adsorbent. Okay, so again I am going to repeat, the adsorption or the adsorption isotherm, this is the relationship between what? The relationship between the amount of substance. The amount of substance is adsorbed per unit mass of the adsorbent, and the equilibrium pressure in case of the gas, concentration in case of the solution. So at a given constant temperature is called as the adsorption isotherm. So with the help of this graphical representation you can see. Okay, so this graphical representation is give the relationship between the amount of substance is adsorbed per unit mass of the adsorbent. Okay, so this is called as a adsorption isotherm. Then we'll see the application of adsorptions in day-to-day life, how this adsorption is applicable or useful. Okay, then first is a application of adsorption in catalysis process, how this adsorption is useful in catalysis process. So heterogeneous catalysis, the solid catalysis are used in many industrial manufacturing process. You might know that it is a catalysis. So then this adsorption is useful in gas mask. So different devices which consist of activated charcoal or the mixture of absorbent. So this is useful for the breathing in coal mines, or this avoid the inhaling of the poisonous gases. So because of this adsorption, what will happen? The poisonous gas get filtrated, or it's avoid the inhaling of the poisonous gases. Then next application of adsorption is that control humidity. You might be observed this silicon aluminum gels are good absorbent, and this is absorbent of moisture. So these are used in different like medicines or in tablet containers. We can say this control the uh, good. This is act as a good absorbent of moisture. Okay, so then adsorptions is the using for the production of high vacuum, lowering of temperature at given pressure, increase the rate of absorption gases or the charcoal powder. Okay, then absorption indicator, the different absorption is used to detect the end point of precipitant titrations. Then dyes such as eosine, fluorescence are used as a indicator. Then this absorption is applicable for separation of inert gases. In the mixture of noble gases, different gases adsorb to different extent due to selective absorption principle. Gases can be separated on account of charcoal. Okay, so mixture of noble gases, different mixture of noble gases, different gases, they are the absorbed on different extent, and due to the selective absorption principle, gases can be separated on the account of charcoal. Then another application of this adsorption in a froth flotation process. So this froth flotation process is for the what purpose? Low grade sulfide ore is concentrated. Okay, for the sulfide ore concentrated by this froth flotation process, in which separating the different silica and other earthy matter using the pine oil as a frothing agents. Then chromatographic analysis, the adsorptions is useful in the chromatographic analysis. The different selective adsorptions like ions from the solution using powdered absorbents such as silica or alumina or the alumina gel. Then next term is catalysis. So what is the catalysis? Substance which when added to the reacting system, or it's increase the rate of reactions without what we can say without interfering in the reactants, or where the reaction without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change. The substance which, so catalyst means what? The catalyst is the substance which when added to the reacting system, it increase the rate of reaction without itself undergoing, without taking part in any permanent chemical change. Okay, So catalyst is two type catalyst, namely first is a homogeneous and second one is a heterogeneous. So with the help of this example or with the help of this figure, you will see, you will understand what is the difference between homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. So when the reactant and catalyst are in the same phase, okay, here you can see this is a one of single phase. When the reactant and catalyst in the same phase is called as homogeneous catalyst. Okay, so for example is given here, iodide ion finds use as a homogeneous catalyst in the decomposition of aqueous hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so this iodide ion, so use or for the homogeneous catalyst, or this is a decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. This iodide ions and this is a S2O2, they are present in a same phase, that is the aqueous phase. So that means their single liquid phase is there, so that's why they called as a homogeneous catalyst. Second is a heterogeneous catalyst. So with the help of this figure you will understand. So there is a different, what we can say, when reactant and catalyst, they are in a different phase, is said to be heterogeneous catalyst. Okay. Now next topic is that inhibitor. So what is the inhibitor? Name itself indicator. Inhibitor is something which inhibits or it's prevent. Inhibitor are the substance those decrease the rate of chemical reaction. The inhibitor are the substance those decrease the rate of chemical reaction. So hydrogen peroxide decompose as a, so you can see this is a hydrogen peroxide get decomposed solids of H2 in liquid plus oxygen gas. The reaction is inhibited by the addition of dilute acetic acid or the glycerol acting as a inhibitor. If we added the dilute acid or the glycerol, so result into the hydrogen peroxide decomposition will stop. So this dilute acid or glycerol is act as a inhibitor. Okay, so remaining part will continue in a next lecture.